Yes, guys. Everything bite-sized here. Look, I know I always say this, but I'm manic as fuck, and I didn't sleep last night, and it's midday next day now. I've made like 5 videos that are in the pipeline, scheduled to upload. I've just started doing a series for dummies, and it's based on articles from the blah 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 for dummies books. And the website has a lot of really cool articles that sort of sum up what the books have in them. So I'm just going to carry on and stop ranting. So this article is called Mental Benefits of Mindfulness. And if you watch my other videos, you'll know that I just go through the article for the first time as I'm recording and give my own anecdotes and personal thoughts. So it's as organic as possible. It's like I'm trying to have a discussion with you guys, like parasocially. So mental benefits of mindfulness. Just as the aim of mindfulness isn't to relax the body, though sometimes this happens, so the aim of mindfulness isn't to calm the mind, though this happens sometimes too. Your mind is like the ocean, occasionally wild and at other times calm. Sometimes your mind goes from thought to thought without stopping to rest. Me, I can relate to that. At other times your thoughts come slower and have more of a space between them. I wish I could ever have that. Anyway, mindfulness isn't so much about changing the rate of your thoughts, but about noticing the thoughts arising in the first place. Okay, so so being mindful of your thoughts. Yeah, interesting. Being mindful of your mind, not trying to make a pun or wordplay. It's just, yeah, being mindful of your thoughts rather than trying to control them. So I'm guessing like you just let your thoughts happen, but you try and be more aware of how you're thinking, and that will probably change the pace of your thoughts and stuff over time, and the nature of your thoughts. That's just my thoughts now, but let's carry on and see what happens. Listen to your thoughts with mindfulness. Everything man-made around you was originally a thought in someone's head. Oh, I love that. Many people consider thought to be all-powerful. All your words, all your action and activities, everything is motivated by thought. So, being aware of the kind of thoughts going through your mind makes sense. The brain easily... That is really deep. For me, I'm going to read that again. I love going over the really deep parts. So, everything man-made around you was originally a thought in someone's head. That is so deep and so true. Many people consider thought to be all-powerful. All your words, all your actions and activities, everything is motivated by thought. So being aware of the kind of thoughts going through your mind makes sense. It does indeed. I love learning about this stuff alongside you guys. I love it so much. The brain easily gets into habitual patterns. Okay, so I'm going to add to that. This is very interesting. The brain does easily get into habitual patterns. So the neural links that form, and I think I used the right phrase, the neural links that form in your brain when you have thought process, every thought process either goes through an existing neural link in the brain, or I think it's the synapses, or it starts a new pattern in your brain. Like, and you've probably seen pictures of the brain sort of depicted as the universe or a tree. So this is saying that your brain easily gets into habitual patterns, and that's true. So the more you use a thought pattern in your brain, the stronger that is going to be. Like, so you can end up, say your mind is a jungle, yeah? You have a thought, and then you start chopping down with a machete a new path in your brain, and then you walk that path more and more as you have those thoughts, and then that path gets beaten down more and more, and then before you know it, you're dealing with a highway or a motorway, and then those thoughts are very hard to demolish. Does that make sense? Like, that's my way of understanding it anyway. So let's carry on. The brain easily gets into habitual patterns as your thoughts travel their paths within the brain. Each time you have a particular thought or carry out a particular action, you slightly increase the chance of having the same thought again. Yeah, exactly like what I was just saying. I want to read that again. I'm so sorry, guys. This will be a long video, but this is so interesting. The brain easily gets into habitual patterns. I think addiction, as part of the problem of addiction is this as well. So as your thoughts travel their paths within the brain, each time you have a particular thought or carry out a particular action, you slightly increase the chance of having the same thought again. Through repeated thinking or action, the connection between neurons strengthens. fucking hell, man. They're just saying exactly what I thought. That's encouraging. If you aren't mindful, I understood it more than I thought. I just didn't understand it in this context for some reason. Through repeated thinking or action, the connection between neurons strengthens. Neurons, okay, not synapses. I think I'm not going to go into okay, what's the difference between neurons and synapses? I'll search it up. The places where neurons connect and communicate with each other are called synapses. Okay. Each neuron has anywhere between a few to hundreds of thousands of synaptic connections, and these connections can be with itself, neighboring neurons, or neurons in other regions of the brain. Very, very interesting. So I'm going to carry on. The brain easily gets into habitual patterns as your thoughts travel their paths within your brain. Each time you have a particular thought or carry out a particular action, you slightly increase the chance of having the same thought again. Through repeated thinking or action, the connection between neurons strengthens. If you aren't mindful of these thoughts or actions, you may have all sorts of negative, untrue, unhelpful thoughts or behaviors that influence your life without you even being aware of them or questioning the truth or validity of them. I have a lot of I'm getting better at doing this, but I used to have a lot more negative thoughts that were really strong in my brain and very established in my brain. And I used to, in my mind, I was really hard on myself. And because of my mum's advice, I stopped saying things out loud like, "Oh, I have a bad memory. Oh, I'm really bad with money. Oh, I'm really like this," because then I'm just reinforcing it. So by not saying it, and by not saying it, those pathways will hopefully overgrow and become harder to travel until there's a jungle like covering it again. That's what I'm hoping. And I suppose you could go a step further, and you could, instead of just not saying the negative things, you could say the opposite. So you could say even though you might not have such a great memory, you could say to yourself and think and repeat over and over again, "I have a good memory. I have a good memory." And maybe that would establish itself over time. Is that something to do with cognitive behavioral therapy? Let me have a look. I'll probably do a whole video on cognitive behavioral therapy because there's bound to be an article about it on this site. What's cognitive behavioral therapy? Is it about what I think it's about? Cognitive behavioral therapy is a psychosocial intervention that aims to reduce symptoms of various mental health conditions, primarily depression and anxiety disorders. I need to look into this. Cognitive behavioral therapy is one of the most effective means of treatment for substance abuse and co-occurring mental health disorders. Oh man, why aren't I doing cognitive therapy? That still doesn't say what the f*** it is. CBT teaches you coping skills for dealing with different problems. It focuses on how your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes affect your feelings and actions. Yes, so mindfulness is a big part of it. Interesting. Okay, I'll carry on with the article now and stop chatting. My bad. Mindfulness encourages you to watch your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Then you're better able to notice unhelpful thoughts and question their truth. Interesting. At first, I thought mindfulness was just about meditating and letting your mind empty, like it says at the start of the article, but it's not. It's like the opposite. So I'll read that again. Mindfulness encourages you to watch your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Then you're better able to notice unhelpful thoughts and question their truth. Yeah, man. Fortunately, I'm quite introspective and self-reflective, and I have a lot of self-awareness, but I've had to build that up over time. And it sounds like I've been doing a lot of mindfulness, and I understand it a lot better than I thought. I just didn't know that's what mindfulness was. Anyway, use mindfulness to make better decisions. Every moment of every day, you make decisions, whether you're aware of them or not. At some point, you'll decide to stop and do something else. More significant decisions you have to make have a bigger impact, and a good decision is highly desirable. All that you do and have at the moment is partly due to the decisions you made in the past. I need to cut that back down because that kind of went over my head, to be honest. Use mindfulness to make better decisions. Every moment of every day you make decisions. That's so true. And to get too deep, everything comes down to a binary yes or a no. I know things aren't always black and white, but you always have to make a decision to progress through life. I believe, like every moment, yeah, like it says, every moment of every day you make decisions, like whether you want to watch this video or click it off, or like whether you're aware of them or not. At some point, you'll decide to stop and do something else. More significant decisions you have to make have a bigger, I think they mean I'm just going to say it like that. The more significant decisions you have to make have a bigger impact, and a good decision is highly desirable. All that you do and have at the moment is partly due to the decisions you made in the past. Interesting. Also, like what people have done to you, but then you could argue that your decisions led you to that person and what they did to you. I guess. So remember, awareness of your body can help you make better decisions. A gut feeling is a signal from your belly telling you, I love that word belly, telling you what to do. So awareness of your body can help you make better decisions. A gut feeling is a signal from your belly telling you what to do, and has been found in some experiments to be faster and more accurate than logical thinking. I believe that's because your subconscious is so much more powerful than your conscious brain. So when you get a bad feeling, it's because your subconscious has figured out that something is wrong, and then you get the gut feeling, and then you're maybe able to rationally think about it and figure out why you've got that gut feeling. Awareness of your body can help you make better decisions. A gut feeling is a signal from your belly telling you what to do, and has been found in some experiments to be faster and more accurate than logical thinking. Yeah, man, that makes sense. I thought about this kind of stuff a lot, to be honest. Research shows a mass of nerves in the gut that's like a second brain. So that is true. I believe for dummies. So I'd always wondered if that was true. Research shows a mass of nerves in the gut that's like a second brain. The heart also has memory cells. Did you know that? Like that was me talking then. I think the heart has memory cells. I've heard of stories where someone has a heart transplant. Say like someone who died had like donated their heart. The person who died really liked fucking Marmite or fucking steak or some shit like that. And then the person who gets the heart transplant can suddenly start liking that thing that the other person did. So it's crazy. It's crazy, man. And it sounds similar to the stomach thing. So yeah, and I believe they found memory cells in the heart. Is the memory cells in the heart? So yeah, I knew that the stomach has its own, regulates itself. And has its own sort of brain. Okay, so the heart has two. Where's this from? ScienceDirect.com. Okay, I'll just trust that. I don't know if it's legit or not. The heart has two distinct networks of nerves. One consists of nerve cells within the heart, and the other made up of nerves originating outside the heart. Both networks have the potential to encode, store, and retrieve memories. However, only the nerves within the human plant are transplanted with the heart. Personality. So the article's called "Personality Changes Following Heart Transplantation." So I think it is a phenomenon. Then I'll get sidetracked and start going too much into this article. I'm gonna make another video about this. It's a scientific study though, so it'll be mission to get through. I'll do that in another video. You'll have to check it out. Let me have a quick break, because this is so interesting. I'm loving this. It's crazy that I didn't sleep last night and I'm able to do. It's like I function better and make better videos. It's because I'm manic. That's why. I feel like I'm at the perfect level of manic though. Like manic. I've spoken about this before on the channel. Manic, so that I've got the creative energy and drive and ambition and focus to make good content, but not so manic that I'm f***ing scatty as slipping over the words too quickly or stumbling over the words. I feel like I'm at the peak moment of time to make good content. So that's what I do when I'm manic and I haven't slept and I can't sleep. I focus that and channel that into making content, and then I build up a backlog. I upload it all to YouTube, but I build up a backlog and schedule videos. And then when my bipolar isn't doing so good, and I really can't force myself to make videos, my channel's still pumping out videos every day. So I'm trying to build up as big a backlog as possible. I know I'm going off on a tangent now, but I have like 2 months worth of shorts, 2 a day to release every day for 2 months. That shows how mad my creative energy is sometimes. And I currently have maybe a week's worth of videos like these in advance, and I'm going to try and build that up to a month or 2. So do you see how like being bipolar is a blessing and a curse? You can utilize it in amazing ways, but it absolutely cripples you. It's a disability, for fuck's sake. And 20% of people who have bipolar, their cause of death is the word that I don't want to use in this video. But yeah, it's a bad cause of death and an unfortunate cause of death. Anyway, enough about that shit. Let's get back to this article. Come to your senses through mindfulness. One of the key ways of becoming more mindful and of calming the mind is to connect with your senses. Sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste. People's use of the word sense shows they appreciate and value being in touch with our organs of perception. I forgot that like the skin is an organ and shit. That's crazy. Innately, and ears are organs and like that. I'm sure the article says they're organs of perception. That's very interesting. Innately the value of connecting to your senses if you want to make a sensible decision. Let me read that again because I went off on a tangent. One of the key ways of becoming more mindful and of calming the mind is to connect with your senses: sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste. People's use of the word sense shows they appreciate and value being in touch with our organs of perception. Innately the value of connecting to your senses if you want to make a sensible decision. I don't really get that, to be honest. If someone can explain what the that means in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. But I have had someone, because I've gone through a lot of help for my mental health. I have had someone do this exercise with me where you focus, and I've heard my mate talk about it, you focus on your senses like that, your sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste, and use that to calm your mind. So that's interesting. But yeah, if someone can explain the whole paragraph, I'd really appreciate it. What is the benefit of purposely connecting with your senses? Well, if you aren't paying attention to the stimulation coming through your 5 senses, you're only paying attention to your thoughts and emotions. You're not aware of anything else. Your thoughts are mainly based on your experiences from the past, from memory. We do. As humans, we do dwell a lot on the past, don't we? You may imagine something new, but on the whole, your mind reworks past experiences or project ideas into the future based on your past experiences. Interesting. That rings true. Emotions are also very much influenced by your thoughts. So, see, I find that like thoughts are influenced by emotions, but emotions are very much influenced. I guess it works both ways. It's a two-way thing. So without paying attention to your senses, you're stuck in your own thoughts and emotions based on the past instead of the present. Okay. So focusing on your perceptual senses helps you get into the present rather than dwelling on the past. This is very interesting. Do you know what? Going through these articles and doing these videos is teaching me a lot. I love it, man. By purposely connecting with one of your senses, say touch, you begin naturally to calm your mind a little. In mindfulness, you can begin by focusing on your breathing. Focus on your belly stretching or your chest expanding, or perhaps the movement of the air as it enters and leaves the body. I'm going to try this while I'm recording. So what was it? So you begin. Okay, so I'm going to touch my desk. One hand on my wallet, one hand on my desk. Focus on my breathing, and then my belly stretching in and out, expanding. Wow, instantly I felt better. Oh man, that is. Oh, okay. Wow, I'm gonna have to play with that. I'm literally putting an alarm on my phone to do this mindfulness stuff, because that exercise, I'm telling you, That is amazing. I'm quite sensitive to things like this, so maybe I'm feeling it more intensely, and I sound really like more intensely than most people, and I sound really bombastic. But honestly, like that really made a difference with my mental health straight away. So mindfulness exercise. I put a daily alarm. Mindfulness exercises. That is, oh, I love doing this. I love YouTube, and I love education. Okay, so uh, I'll say that again in case you want to do it and pause the video. By purposely connecting with one of your senses, say touch, you begin naturally to calm your mind a little. In mindfulness, you can begin by focusing on your breathing. Focus on your belly stretching or your chest expanding, or perhaps the movement of the air as it enters and leaves your body. By focusing on a particular sense, in this case the sense of touch, you're focusing your attention. Rather than your mind wandering wherever it pleases, you're gently training it to stay on one object, namely your breathing. Man, this could really help with my manic racing thoughts. This could. Oh, I'm so glad I made this video. Okay, so by coming to your senses mindfully, you are, and there's bullet points, training your attention to focus. Okay, so by coming to your senses mindfully, you are training your attention to focus, being kind to yourself when your mind wanders off. Oh, interesting that you've a certain amount of choice about what you pay attention to, realizing that you've got a certain amount of choice about what you pay attention to. Okay, understanding that you can deliberately choose to shift attention away from thinking and into the senses and calming your mind. This is longer than I thought, this article, but this is gold, man. Create an attentive mind with mindfulness. Attention is essential in achieving anything. If you can't pay attention, you can't get the job done, whatever the job is. Mindfulness trains your attention by sustaining your attention on one thing, or by switching the type of attention from time to time. Okay, so I'm guessing you use the physical exercise of using your senses to calm your mind, and then you focus on that one thing you want to think about, so your mind's not racing anymore, and this is fucking gold. There are several types of attention. Narrow attention is focused and sharp like the beam of a laser. You may use this type of attention when chopping vegetables or writing a letter. Wide attention is more open and spacious, like a floodlight. When you're driving, ideally your attention is open, so you'd notice if a car moves closer to you from the side, or if children are playing up ahead. So wide attention sounds like there's a lot of subconsciousness in it, whereas narrow attention sounds like it's more like your logical, rational brain. And driving isn't all about logic or rationale, is it? Like, you have to be attentive, and so wide attention makes sense. So wide attention is more open and spacious, like a floodlight. When you're driving, ideally your attention is open, so you'd notice if a car moves closer to you from the side, or if children are playing up ahead. Outer attention is attention to the outer world through your senses. Inner attention is an awareness of your thoughts and feelings. Observer or witness awareness is your capacity to know what type of attention you're using. Oh, okay. So that's like the meta, if that's the right expression. It's like the alpha of all of the different types of attention. So observer or witness awareness is your capacity to know what type of attention you're using. For example, if you're drawing a picture, you're aware that your attention is narrow. If you're walking through the countryside, you're aware that your attention is wide. And then there's a diagram, which I'm not even going to put in the video because I can't be where it says, it basically says what I said: observer, witness of all experiences, and it's at the top of a triangle, and in the middle of the triangle it says awareness. So yeah, and narrow focused attention and wide spacious attention are at the bottom. Interesting. And that's the bottom of the article. Wow. Oh, that was a ride, ladies and gentlemen, and I really, really enjoyed that. This has actually been probably my favorite video to make, and I've learned so much from it. I really enjoyed the video on Stoicism as well, which I highly recommend you check out. I believe it will be the video that was published just before this one, because it's all scheduled. So, I've been Everything Bite-Sized. I loved this video. I hope you love it too. Subscribe. Check out my other content like this. Check out my shorts. Check out my music videos. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.